Welcome back, viewers. You're watching the Savera and I'm Shefali. Are US and China in Thucydides trap? The Thucydides trap, a term coined by political scientist Graham Allison, describes a situation where a rising power threatens to disrupt the dominance of an established power, often leading to tension or conflict. The concept is based on the insights of the ancient Greek historian Thucydides, who argued that Sparta's fear of Athens' growing power led to Peloponnesian War. In the context of China and the US, it suggests that China's rapid rise as both an economic and military force could destabilize its relationship with the US, the current global leader, possibly leading the confrontation. Whether the US and China are locked in this trap depends upon one's perspective and interpretation of their current dynamics. There are compelling arguments on both sides. On the one hand, undeniable tensions exist. The US and China are in conflict over trade, such as tariffs and technology restrictions, military presence, especially in the South China Sea and around Taiwan, and ideological differences, democracy versus authoritarianism. China's GDP in terms of purchasing power partially has already surpassed the US. And while its military spending is still behind, it is growing rapidly, reaching $296 billion in 2023, according to CIPRI, compared to the US $916 billion. In response, the US has implemented politics like the CHIPS Act to curb China's technological rise and strengthen alliances like AUKUS and the Quad. The rhetoric from both sides further identifies the rivalry, with Xi Jinping emphasizing China's rejuvenation and Biden framing the situation as a battle between democracy and autocracy. Allison's research shows that 12 of 16 historical cases where a rising power challenged an established one war occurred, such as Athens versus Sparta or Germany versus Britain before World War I. On the other hand, the economic interdependence between the US and China might help prevent a full-fledged Thucydides trap. The two countries are heavily economically intertwined. Bilateral trade reached $690 billion in 2022, and China holds over $800 billion in US Treasury securities. Both nations also face common challenges such as climate change, where they are cooperated in the past. Example, the 2014 US-China climate deal. Nuclear deterrence also increases the stakes of any direct conflict, making war less likely than in previous Thucydides trap scenarios. Furthermore, leaders like Xi and Biden have met most recently in November 2023 to manage tensions, indicating a shared interest in avoiding escalations. Are they locked in? Not necessarily. The Thucydides trap is not an inevitable outcome. It is a tendency that can be mitigated through diplomacy, economic cooperation, or mutual restraint. However, the risk remains. Miscalculations over Taiwan, cyber attacks, or economic decoupling could trigger a more dangerous confrontation. For now, the US and China are engaged in a tense, delicate balancing act rather than being caught in an inescapable conflict. That was all for now. For further details on this story, download the Savera app, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.